Welcome, I'm Heather Baxter, and this is my weekly podcast. Today is episode number 15. If you are struggling with how to respond during a challenge or a crisis, or how to be prepared, or even prepare for a challenge or a crisis, then this vlog is for you. All I want to do is set some time and help you clear some time in your day or week to hear some truth. I would love to inspire you so you can believe, behold, and become all that God's created you to be. Be that woman that is built up, that is strong, and that is established. It is up to us to take control and build up our lives. When we build up our lives, we build up our health, our family, our home, our friends, and our spiritual lives. So if you continue to follow Jesus, then your dreams will follow you. Welcome back to episode 15, Sistas. I'm getting ready for a girl party here, an annual girl party. It's called Let's Flamingo. And I don't know, I've just been texting everybody, can't wait to see you, Sista. So, good times. So I can't wait to see you and talk to you and chat with you, Sistas. Anyway, we are on episode 15 for the We Believe Vlogcast. Now, what I have exciting to tell you, but you will not find out until the end of this video. So please watch the entire video for the end announcement. If you are loving these kind of videos, you want more topics, leave me a comment below, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell if you want to know of all of my notifications, and give me a thumbs up if you loved today's video. So with further ado, we are going to jump in to a collision course into your destiny. This being an episode to help you prepare for a challenge, a crisis, or a catastrophe. Like, what is our reflex system when those type of things happen in our life? And so today I want to talk to you about 4 really important responses that we need to have when we collide into a catastrophe, a challenge, or a crisis. And I use those 3 words, catastrophe, challenge, and crisis, because they all mean something a little bit different. I mean, we all face twists and turns every single day in life, do we not? Some are just challenges that can happen in the afternoon, in a workplace, with a child, in a marriage, financially, with decisions that need to be made. And they can be small challenges or big challenges. Many times, right within the week, we collide into a catastrophe that we never even dreamed of. And how do we respond to that? Turns and twists happen to us every single day. And you want to know what the first thing the enemy wants to do is he wants to whisper in your ear the second that it happens. Hey, how big is your God now? Huh, why did that happen to you? What about your dreams now, Sista? How are you feeling about that? How are you going to handle this now? And all this doubt, worry, all this anxiety overwhelms us, and we do not know how to respond. We need to have a natural reflex. And so, there was a person in the Bible that when the catastrophe, crisis, and challenge arrived in Jerusalem, Nehemiah knew right away how to respond in order to reestablish and rebuild the walls. He just had responses in place. His reflexes were spot on. And so that is who we're going to look at, is Nehemiah. So in the 4 responses that I'm going to share with you, I'm bringing them out of the book of Nehemiah. But if you stay tuned, you are going to hear some really important news, like I said, at the end of today's vlog. And you're really going to want to know this, because I may not be elaborating on every single question that we hit right now for the sake of time. This is just kind of a nudger, just kind of give you some really quick pointers, like a PowerPoint. But if you want to dig deeper, then again, you're going to want to continue listening, because I have something great for you. So let's go ahead and look at Nehemiah's responses to challenges or crises. First of all, I want to ask you one question. What do we have in place in our homes and with our health and with our cars? So if something was to happen, something kicks in. We have insurances, right? We have safety alarms. We have health insurance, home insurance, security alarm systems in our home. Everything is in place in case of a crisis, in case of a challenge, in case something was to pop up. We have a backup system. We have something that's going to help us reestablish our homes or reestablish our health, kind of get us through that pit moment. And I began to think, what about emotionally and what about spiritually? What is going on with us physically when something collides with our natural day, with our natural everyday life that we did not expect? When that catastrophe hits with our dreams and it destroys our destiny emotionally, how do we respond? Because that is huge. The way Nehemiah responded, he was able to have every single character in his life, his family, his friends, everyone around him was able to stand strong, learn to be steadfast, and face what was in front of him, which was an amazing destiny. And so it took one person to be able to look at this challenge and go, wait a minute, I'm going to respond with some really good learned reflexes. And that's what Nehemiah did. So I want to share a few today, because that's what our We Believe vlogcast is about, is how do we respond to crises, challenges, or catastrophes? Because the last thing we want to do is allow that collision to destroy our destiny. God has a plan and He works through everything. And that is the number one most important thing before every step I give you, is just, you know, right now that God is in control. He's in control of your entire life. As a matter of fact, He's working through this crisis to make you stronger and to bring glory to everyone that you touch. He has a plan and He will use your situation. So with that in mind, I want you to write number one. If you have your PDF, if you do not, please go ahead to the drop down box that is located in the description right below this video, and you can grab the PDF form. That PDF form is used so you can take notes on it, talks about the message points, and I am encouraging you to get a binder, start labeling that binder, maybe label books of the binder, maybe label it by subjects. You can stick it in there and pull it out whenever you need, or if you have to send a note or something to a friend, you can pull out some helpful verses. So number one is Nehemiah had actions and reflexes in place. Now this is important because I just explained that when we collide and we have a collision with a challenge, the first thing that we do is we respond a lot of times with fear or anxiety. And we all have different shades and levels of anxiety and fear. We respond differently. But what we want to do is learn what is a healthy way to respond. And I think it's really important because, first of all, you learn from your community and the characters around you. That is why I believe huge in having a woman's community, a faith community. And so I'm also going to tell you that right here, the HB Book Club and Bible Source resource page, which you can find on Facebook, is where I will be posting a lot of my Bible studies, a lot of community talk, or anything like that, so we can engage in a community outside of YouTube. So if you're looking for more of that, I'm going to highly recommend that you jump over to Facebook and find out where that HB resource and Bible study page is. You'll find me there. I'll accept you into that group, and that is where we can become a community. The Bible tells us that with knowledge and wisdom, we will be established. And so it's just a place for us to establish knowledge and wisdom together. So again, if we don't have those healthy reflexes and patterns in place, we respond in, like I said, ways of fear, addictions. We put walls up, we break down our communication, and we break down our relationships if we don't have the right reflexes in place. So we will elaborate more on that later. And again, you're going to want to wait to the end of the video to see why I keep saying later. Number two is crying out in prayer. Now, what did that mean? If you look in the book of Nehemiah, the first thing Nehemiah did, he cried out in prayer because he knew that everything in his life was directed by the hand of God. Whether there was going to be direction immediately or it was going to be over time, he knew God was in control of every single detail that revolved around that collision or the breaking down of the walls in Jerusalem. Nehemiah just knew who he had to cry out to. Now, obviously, he had to cry out to because he was 100% flesh, and we have emotions. We cry when we hurt. We cry when we're grieving. We cry when we worry. We complain. We get angry sometimes. And God is okay with all of those natural human responses and reflexes. It's okay to naturally let them go. The thing is we need to do it in a healthy manner. So it's okay to, like I said, respond and cry out to God. But know while you're doing it, know deeply as you're letting that cry out and you're lamenting, that you know that God is going to direct every detail in your life. Number 3 is keeping the momentum. I think we all get to a place of what should we do and what do we expect God to do, and where is the balance? So when we're in a panic mode, it's like, what do we do? What do we do? Okay, what am I expecting God to do right now? Okay, and we got to find a balance. And sometimes if the enemy can get in there and again, slip those whispers of, oh, how big's your God now? Where are you going with this now? Oh, did God show up this day? And you have to understand that you're not going to allow him, the enemy, to be your momentum killer. You're not going to allow other individuals in your life to be your momentum killer. Because if you can, if your emotions take over, if you physically start taking over and you're fighting fatigue in other areas of your lives, you have to know that's a momentum killer. We have to keep the momentum of our faith running strong. Do not quit on God, sisters. Do not. I'm telling you, God does not want you to quit. He has a huge plan. You know, I was reading in a book not too long ago, and it says you can tell the size of a Christian by how far and how long he keeps going. So what I mean by the size of a Christian is the maturity of a Christian, how long that Christian sister or brother has been in the momentum of the faith. You can tell their size by how long they keep going and they do not quit on God. They keep serving, they keep doing ministry, they keep loving, they keep showing up, they keep tithing, they keep going no matter what. Do not quit on God and keep your momentum. And you will see that. And when Nehemiah had that response and that reflex, he allowed the community to be encouraged by his attitude, and then the community was involved in the rebuilding of the wall. Your attitude and your momentum is contagious. Remember that no matter what you're going through, that your momentum and your faith is contagious. Number 4, confront problems. You're going to see that Nehemiah was not afraid to confront problems head on. He did not want the poison to spread anymore in the community. The walls were already broken down. Now this can happen right in our family. When a collision, a crisis, or a challenge happens, if we do not confront the problem, the poison will spread in the family. When the poison spreads, we have more collision with other characters, and it just becomes a snowball effect. And so I think it's so important when we're looking at this to understand that we need to name it, identify it, confront it, and find accountability. Name it, name that problem, identify it with that person, make it right, and find accountability. Sometimes your accountability is in your other community groups, which you talk about, what should my reflex be to this situation? What should this look like in this situation? I find it healthy to have Christian counselors or Christian coaching. Now that is something I do. I don't announce it, but if you go to my Facebook page and you're needing sidebar Christian counseling, send me something through the contact form. I send you a questionnaire and I send you all the information from there. And this is a private announcement. I don't put it out there a lot. I have my set clients, but I do take them in here and there, and I allow for more. And it's so important if you're going through that time to just get on the right page with somebody and just kind of go back and forth with what the collision is that you're going through. Now let me give you an example. My son and I, when he was a teenager, oh my goodness gracious Lord, we collided all the time. We were headbutting all the time, both of us being very strong-willed. And in order for me to have the right responses and the right reflexes, I needed to go outside of my characters in my family and just get some solid counseling. Somebody outside of the box. And that's healthy. I'm telling you, I got some of the best Christian advice. And my son and I to this day are best friends. We just went through that season. that when a crisis came up or a challenge came up or something I didn't believe he should be involved in or doing, you know how that goes, moms. There was constant collision, constant headbutting, and the right actions during that time. And so it was critical. And so at that time, I just needed a little bit of feedback from my community, from my other brothers and sisters, from other strong counselors. And I loved how they helped me name it, how they helped me identify it. And then they made me accountable to go back and work it out with my son. So these are just things that I've learned to do. I've learned it to do with my daughters. I mean, it's something that it's a constant thing that you're going to deal with, because I can tell you, you're always going to have collisions right within your family. So Nehemiah is going to teach us a lot about that. And again, stay tuned to the end of this video and you'll know why I keep saying that. Nehemiah was really, really, really good at confronting brokenness, confession, and forgiveness. Brokenness, confession, and forgiveness. They all work together. Honestly, if there's a part of your life that's broken and you really haven't laid it before the Lord and really haven't confronted it, you really haven't went to the place where you named it, made it right, identified it, and just kind of asked God for accountability and others for accountability, you stay broken. And so we can go back to the previous question to work on the area of brokenness. And that is very, very, very important. If we keep sin and we harbor sin, it's rebellion against God. When we harbor onto brokenness in our life, it's rebellion against God, because he went to the cross for us. He went for us because he wants to give us grace, hope, and a destiny. He never ever intended us to constantly collide in destiny. He went to break every collision. And the collisions we are going to hit today just because of sin and obstacles in our life, he's made a way to set us free. He's made a way in the wilderness, and we just need to help. We need help finding that way. And sometimes those challenges are what makes us strong. That's how we represent his glory in a better way. When we're dealing with broken areas in our life, whether that was due by something we did and we feel like we're in a broken relationship with God, confession is so freeing. Same with shame and guilt and unforgiveness. It's so freeing. But we have to learn how to respond with the proper reflexes and actions so we can get to that place of forgiveness. Honestly, Nehemiah dealt with this on so many levels, with himself personally, with God, and with his community. So we can learn so much. But we're pointing out right here that in order to deal with collision, catastrophe, or a crisis, we have to understand brokenness, confession, and forgiveness. That goes hand in hand with our freedom, and it goes hand in hand with our healing. Because a lot of times when we have challenges or crises or catastrophes that maybe directly happen to us, the only way that we're going to break through and feel that healing is through being broken down to the pit until God can lift us up and we learn and allow him to help us respond with new reflexes. We learn to forgive and we learn to confess. A whole nother area in which Nehemiah will definitely teach us. Now, actually, there's 4 more to this whole story of Nehemiah. But guess what? I'm not going to share those, and I'm not going to elaborate here, because this collision course to destiny is huge. And so I am excited to announce to you that I was telling you, if you were part of my whole YouTube channel, that I was working on a study all summer. Well, that study is your collision course to destiny. How to deal with catastrophe and crises and challenges in your life, how to be prepared when those things come, when those twists and turns come into life, how to know that your dreams are not destroyed and God has a destiny for you. Stay tuned, and if you want to know more, I'm highly encouraging you to subscribe at heatherbaxter.com. When you subscribe there, I am able to send emails out to you to update you when the class is going to come, to update you on how the course is going to work, to get you connected to the Facebook page, to get you connected with me in case you want some online coaching later, whatever it may be. It's our way of getting connected more than just my YouTube videos. So if you're interested interested in this class, I'm highly recommending you to subscribe at heatherbaxter.com. If this class is way done and over and you're just watching this on YouTube now, because know that I'm always doing something. So subscribe anyway, so you can be in the loop for whatever's going on in the season that we're in right now. But right now, end of August 2019, we are going to do the Nehemiah study. For those that are just joining my YouTube channel, I can tell you now I have all kinds of studies. You can go to heatherbaxter.com, you can click on the link that says free studies, and you'll find everything there. Or you can also look over here on my YouTube channel and you'll see all those Bible studies. And I also have the PDF forms that go with them. So if you're looking at doing a 6-week, 4-week, 7-week Bible study in a community group or in your home, you can use my videos and the free handouts to go with it. So it's awesome. And I'm telling you, there's some really powerful studies there that you can utilize, and very strong, awesome community conversation that can take place through those PDFs. So with that in mind, I'm hoping that you're really excited about this Nehemiah study. I hope you're excited to study about what does a collision course to destiny look like, and how strong and established will I be when I'm completed. That is my goal here, is to help us believe, behold, and become all God's created us to be. Because when we're believing it and we're beholding it, it is affecting our health, it is affecting the community, the people around us, our workplace, and our dreams, our children, our grandchildren, and generations to come. Your momentum, your faith momentum, is contagious to all those around you. Leave me a comment below how this inspired you. How have you in the past responded to collisions or catastrophes in your life? Are you in a place right now where you know, on a scale 1 to 10, with 10 being I'm doing really, really, really good? Leave it in the comment section too. 2, 3, 4, 5, I could use some help. I'm really at a 1, I need this. Or I'm at a 5, could use some tweaking. I mean, just let's label it. Maybe that's a little bit easier so I can see where everybody is at. On a scale from 1 to 10, leave down in the comment section where you're at. I will always respond to my comments, so even if this is an older video, I will get back to you and I will help you get into the loop to where we are today. So again, thank you so much for tuning into HB Ministries. Again, this is a place for you. And I love you guys, and I hope that you are inspired. And I will see you in the next video. Bye-bye.